We're going to talk about another tool that is the Dataset Metadata tool. It lets you generate a file that gives you a lot of the common rules for the dataset and how they behave. For example, required fields, setting the minimum length of required fields. For example, customer name, it's required. Let's say you want it to be at least 3 characters to pass validation when you are creating or updating a customer. We have a bunch of classes already that have metadata files. We are going to scan for more data sets to see if there's anything new. And in a previous video, we did generate a customer 2 data set. So let's see if that gets picked up. And there it is, customer 2. So now we go to customer 2 and we start looking at metadata field values. Let's say we definitely want to have name be a required field. We want it to have a minimum write length of 3 characters. We also want to make sure we capture a contact person. Probably should at the very least have a phone number. So I save this, and if I go to my directory where the customer 2 dataset lives, and I refresh, and you'll see I have this customer2 underscore metadata file, which is a JSON file, and it basically tells me what the rules are. And you'll see I have a requirement of the name, and it has to be a minimum of 3 characters. So at runtime, when you update a customer, it will get cached on the server side. Those rules will execute each time you update a customer. There's another type of data set, the query data set, and the rules are slightly different for that. I'm not going to generate one here, but we have the customer's query, and it has 4 fields in it. If we traverse through the fields, we'll notice that we have different options that we didn't have in the CRUD version. For one thing, we can set what the operators are, so you can do a begins on any of these fields. Begins on name. When you're querying the database, you're basically saying, hey, if you're using name, you got to have at least 3 characters because we don't want to read the whole table. You can set that for what makes sense for any particular data set, and you make it optional. But at the top level, we have a parameter that says you have to have one of these optional values in order to have a successful query. I think we'll demonstrate that again now. So if I go to my query, I'm going to say AB, and I also have country. Now, country requires 3 characters, as does name, but I only have to satisfy one of these criteria. So if I run this now, I'm not going to get any results simply because I don't have enough characters in either of these query selection values. So I run this query and I don't expect to get any results because I have not satisfied the criteria. And as you see, I get an error, an incomplete query selection. But I know by the rules, I just need to put in one more character in name, and that should satisfy it. Even though this here is not satisfying it, it will still consider it because I've at least had one criteria that completes the rules. So you'll see that I get 2 customers beginning with ABC. And if I eliminate this particular value and just go to the first customer query where ABC, you'll notice that I've got 3 because I have not filtered out by the country where it begins with U. For demonstration of the CRUD behavior, refer to the intro and overview video. Thanks for watching, and please check out our other videos on the Intui-Tech channel. Nice and easy.